Hey everybody, and welcome back to the MindCatcher's channel. This is by Urban Decay. They were nice enough to send me all three of their Naked palettes, the Naked Original, the Naked 2, and the Naked 3. And this is what a worn one looks like. I've had this quite a while. This has went through weddings, proms, you name it. It's been through just about everything. I love the pigmentation of the palette. I love the creaminess of these eyeshadows. They blend very, very well. So that means that this new original Naked palette will be in a giveaway very shortly, hopefully by the end of the summer. I have to finish out one of my giveaways before I start another one. I make that rule. So that is what it looks like, nice and beautiful. You have your mirror, all of your shadows right there unswatched. You have a brush inside, so it will be going out to someone. I'm going to go through my videos and see if I can find a few of my original Naked palette videos and link them down below so you guys can see a few makeup tutorials using that palette. The original Naked palette to me was great because you had your shimmer shades, you had a few matte shades. This color Buck was perfect for transition for my skin tone. Half Baked is my favorite shade in this palette. It is a gorgeous shimmery shade. It's beautiful. Smog looks beautiful all over the lid. Toasted looks beautiful all over the lid. Hustle looks beautiful all over the lid. My only grievance with this palette was the black that they had was a little shimmery, had like some sparkle in it. I would rather a matte black, and the gunmetal shade was pretty all over the lid. So to me, the original palette was always the best palette. Because I have lots of other makeup lovers in the family, I did get a chance to play around with the Naked 3 palette before. And as you can see, the Naked 3 palette has the 10 container. When you open it up, there is a very large mirror there. It also comes with a brush, and all of the tones are somewhat rosy shades, kind of like that rose gold, very pretty shades in there. I did get a chance to play around with this once or twice because I did have family members who had this palette, and I did play around with it. I'm going to search through my videos and see if I ever recorded anything using their palette. I don't remember, but I have played around with this one before. And the last palette, which is the Naked 2. I'm sorry I went out of order, but I wanted to put down the two I already knew about. The Naked 2 is the palette that I know absolutely nothing about, so I'm going to play around with that today. It's saying that this particular palette has more of the taupey hued neutrals in it. So let's see, it's constructed similar to the 3, but it doesn't have all of that texture on the front. It also has the very large mirror there, and as you can see, beautiful shades in there. And I did wear a taupey shade top because I knew I was going to be playing around with this particular palette. The shade that's kind of calling out to me in this palette is Chopper and Suspect. Suspect almost looks like the exact shade I have on. So I think I might want to play around with that on the lid. So let's get started with the palette. Like I said, this is kind of like blind going in. I don't know much about the palette. Haven't seen any tutorials using this palette. Although I'm quite sure there were many, because when it came out, everybody went kind of crazy about it. When this particular palette came out, I think I was still loving that original palette. And I don't know. I think because of the reviews from a lot of women of color, you know, they weren't talking about it much, so I kind of put it on a back burner. So let's see what I missed, shall we? We're going to start off with our Urban Decay Primer Potion, or any primer that you have. We're going to apply that onto the lid. And we're patting on our primer, and we're going to let that sit on the lid for about 30 seconds before we apply anything else. Let it sit on. Alright guys, I zoomed in a little bit more so you can see what I'm doing. I'm using the color Espresso from LA Girl Pro Concealer, just applying that all over my lid. And that's just to make my lids one uniform color, kind of using it as a base. In that particular palette, I don't see a matte like all over the eyelid shade. I've been applying a shade all over my eyelids just to set the base. So I don't see one in there that's matte and about my skin tone. So I'm going into the original Naked palette and I'm going to use the shade Buck. It's a lot lighter than me, but it'll still do the job. Just going to use this MAC 224 brush, very fluffy. And for that, you can use your face powder as well. Anything you have that's about your complexion. Because I said I like the color Suspect, it kind of matches my blouse. Here it is right here. I'm going to go ahead and apply that all over the lid. And I'm using one of the new e.l.f. brushes. I believe this is their eye shading brush. And I'm going a little bit above my crease, my natural crease that my eye creates there. This particular shade is very beautiful. I could see it being used for just about any occasion, daytime look, nighttime look, very nice shade. Okay, we're gonna go into the shade, going a little deeper. We're gonna go into the shade Snakebite. It's right there. And I'm using a blending brush from Coastal Scents for this, the 250. And very carefully starting to work this outer corner. Look at that. And you're just following the curve of your eye. Now, if you wanted to, you could leave it at those two shades right there. That is nice. You could go back through your transition area and clean it up a little bit and add your brow bone highlight or not. And you would be great, I think, with just these two shades. It's a pretty look. And I'm going to go into this shade called Blackout right here. And we're going to define that outer corner even more. I'm using a Luxie 229 tapered blending brush. And that black is very pigmented. And we're trying it out in our V shape. And there's your V. Here and here, you're doing that right there. Alright guys, then I kind of backtrack. I'm going back into the color Snakebite. I'm going back into that very first color I used from the original Naked palette, the color Buck, and I'm just going to go around what I did. I'm using a clean blending brush, and if you hear any noises, some giggling going on, that's the little mind catchers. It's a rainy day and they are, they're just little joys to mommy today. Now guys, there's a little color inside of this palette called Verve, almost silverish tone. I'm going to just take my finger and press that in the center. And I'm having some lighting issues because It has been storming today. So if my lights seem to dim and come back, it's because we've been having these rolling blackouts all day long, but I want to get something done for you guys. This storm doesn't want me to be great. Alright guys, a wing always makes something a little bit better, so we're going to go ahead and use this Wet n Wild Skinny Tip Eyeliner. I told you guys I love this. Try it out if you see it in the store. I love it. I'm going to apply a little bit of the mascara also for Wet n Wild. This is their Skinny Mascara. I talked about this stuff in my Wet n Wild foundation review. I hauled a few items from Wet n Wild and you guys should check it out. Alright, I'm going to apply some lashes and I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, and this is what our eyes are looking like. Very, very pretty. Could be a daytime or an evening look. This is using a Naked 2 palette. And these eyelashes are actually from e.l.f. So, very, very affordable. I'm going to use this black eyeliner. This is from Marnie. It's called the Stay Put eyeliner. It is extremely black. I really like this. Very, very smooth and very black. If you want to do like a smoky eye, this is great. I'm going to use a little e.l.f. smudger brush. And I'm going to just go through some of these shades I already put at the top. We're going to go back into Snakebite. And we're going to put that down there. And it's okay if it smudges with the eyeliner. That's what you want. And there's a shade in the palette called Busted, way down here next to the black. I think I'm going to put that down there as well, right here in the outer corner. Alright guys, for my bottom lash line, I always like to use Hypnose Drama Mascara. Talked about this in a video. Love this mascara. If you don't have any lashes, this makes it look like you do. And these are your completed eyes. Very, very nice. Love it, love it, love it. So that is it. I finished out my face. I am testing a new foundation from The Ordinary. So look out for that video. That is coming up. On my lips I have, and I don't know where I just put it. Here it is. Raisin by Wet n Wild. That's on my lips. And right in the center I just tapped a pigment from Sugar Pill. This is Lumi. And it has like that iridescent, kind of like the little embroidery around my my blouse here, kind of green and pinks and all of that good stuff inside of there. But that's it. As far as the palette, I think it's doable. I think you can get quite a few looks out of it. Even if you're just using your finger and going through some of these shades, you will love it all over the lid. You're just adding a darker color right there in the outer corner and you're good. A winged liner always makes everything look a little bit more special. Some lashes, of course, kicks up the look another 5 notches. So you definitely can get away with the Naked 2 palette, especially if you like taupey shades. I really think you like this. I still feel like my favorite is the original Naked palette. I absolutely love it. I love every shade, like I said, except for that black, because I just feel like it should have been a matte black. Those two palettes together gives me that that I need. And the Naked 3, I gotta play around with it a little bit more. Like I said, I did play around with it once or twice, but I really gotta dig into it and see what all I can come out with. So we shall see. And that is it. Also guys, stay tuned to the channel because I did some new things to my hair I wanted to discuss. So all of that is coming in another video. My giveaway is still live until June 15th, I believe. So you still have time to go over to the blog and join the blog. Follow me on Instagram. Subscribe to the channel for your chance to win the Estee Edit palettes that I was giving away. Those are the 2 palettes. Both of these palettes are going away to 1 person. So check that out. I'll leave it down below. And that is it. Alright. Thank you guys so much, and thank you to Urban Decay for sending me out these 3 palettes. I really love Urban Decay shadows. They have always been super pigmented, super silky and smooth. They blend very well, and I just like them a lot. I will talk to you all in the next video. Cyber kisses. Bye.